Infrared Zone Rant.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to another edition of Halas Hall Report.
Coffee, Ken. Coffee.
Week. No coffee today. No coffee commercial day. We got to redo it. But
unbelievable.
I do have my Bear Six. Actually, no, it's Task Force whiskey. I'm out of Bear Six Actual. I do have my coffee though from Steve. I'm out of Bear Six Actual. I'm waiting for the new bags or order a new one. But I do have my Task Force whiskey this morning. How are you this morning, Woody?
Peachy.
Mike, how are you doing, man? How you feeling, man?
I can feel
Gave
better.
scared this week.
All right. Yeah. Big
Is that some kind of fungus on your ankle or your foot?
Oh, that's the other Mike.
Oh, the other Mike. Okay.
You deal with that kind of foot, man. It's painful. And I just found out that I'll have it for my whole life.
Mike, I'll take your foot. You take my busted femur. We'll call it even, okay?
I'll take your busted femur. You take my busted back and neck.
Well, you got to wear your neck brace. You're not wearing them, I was told. Go ahead, Ken.
He said,
Fucking Woody.
We got the walking wounded on this show. We got chest pains. We got femurs. We got
retirees at young.
Our injury report's bigger than the Bears.
Well, I don't know. They got more. Well, we have more on the IR, maybe.
So Sarah has been sent the link to join us. Woody, just
Sarah ain't coming.
She was on open mic last night.
She have her mic on?
Yeah, she had her mic on. No video. But yeah, she was talking. So, all right, we got us a game this Monday. Let's get into last week first. I mean, we talked about it a little bit Wednesday, but the mics weren't here, so let's give the mics an opportunity to speak on Wednesday. Because Woody, you and I, we had no opinion on the game before. Because you and I never do. Fair down, Mike. What did you think of last Sunday's ass whooping?
Well, if you want to call that a game, it seemed like nobody wanted to be there. That's what plainly looked like. Nobody's catching the ball. Offensive line don't want to block. Defense don't want to play. I mean, if you call it a game at all, and we got guys celebrating. It was Rome's first touchdown. He was dancing. It's 6-31, dude. Come on.
They should still
nice
celebrate.
Catch, though. Nice catch,
It was a great catch, but we don't need to be celebrating when we're getting our asses kicked.
Why wouldn't you celebrate the touchdown? You got a touchdown. You should celebrate it, shouldn't you?
Well,
Andy's a rookie. It was only his third.
Well, Mike, I got a question for you. When are we not getting our ass kicked going into the second half?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, lately. I mean, we've been a second half team the last.
There was a period in the third quarter I thought they were going to make a comeback. They were moving the ball.
That fumble fucked them up.
Yeah.
What do you think, producer Mike?
Like Mike said, that wasn't a game. It was straight up shit show. Nobody really came to play. And my opinion, we need to really eliminate all the offensive line and start over. Like, our offensive line is terrible. 56 sacks on Williams. Another Bears record, and you still got like 4 or 5 games to go.
Yeah, Not a good look, Mike, for sure. 56 sacks is not a good look.
No.
But
Like
is
I
it the
said,
whole? Mike,
our offensive line was better last year than
yeah,
this
Yeah.
year.
but here's a question though, guys. Is it the entire O line that we? I mean, I don't think the entire we replaced 5 starters. I mean, last week to me, a lot of it looked like the coaches just got. Really, it was the coaches got their asses handed to them. They weren't properly prepared. They weren't calling. I mean, if we called, okay, let's call run defense, and they were throwing. Okay, we'll call pass defense. They were running. It was like none of the play calls worked at all last week. They didn't seem to have any kind of consistency. And then the second half, like Mike said, it started to look good, and then the fumbles just fucked them all.
Well, between Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, our offensive line, the rest of them can't stay healthy. I know Jenkins is good, top tier when he plays, but he's hurt half of his career. Like he needs
Shelton's
to
been
stay
healthy.
on the field.
But since he came back, Shelton's been healthy. He's been ranked between anywhere from 8 to 12 at his position at center in the NFL this season.
But how many games has he missed this year?
Let me look and see what his
A
snaps
few.
are.
Like we
Yes,
can't see
early
the,
at the beginning of the year, but he missed early, but I don't think he's missed since, has he? I think since he came back, he's been solid. Like,
Well, I
in
feel
every game.
what Mike's saying. Yeah, get rid of everybody. But then if we would do that, then we would have definitely no depth.
well, I wouldn't
So,
say everybody, but like I
know.
said, Darnell Wright but the
I
rest
get,
of them's injured.
First of all,
So-
get the fucking O-line coach out of there. That's a
Yeah,
So
start.
Chris Morgan's
Shelton-
got to go. Chris Morgan's got to go.
Shelton's taken 870 snaps to center this year. His run block grades is 70.5, which is 16th in his position. Pass block is 68.6, which is 8th in his position. His overall grade is a 69.3, which currently is 12th in his position.
So he has a little bit.
As a unit, they're ass. Individually, he's fine. As a unit,
Right.
they're
Individually,
ass.
he's fine. Right, right, Mike. He's fine. As a unit, this is
They
what
suck.
gets interesting on the Bears lineup as it is right now. Okay,
John, shut the hell up.
As today, Jones is rated has got a 76.3 rating. Jenkins a 76.1. Shelton a 69.3. Pryor a 70.1. Of course, he's a sub today. Darnell Wright's at 77.4. So as individually, they're all great. The problem is, or they're all good. They're all green, right? They're all kind of where you want them to be. As a unit, well, I'll put it this way: in the 3 divisional games, the Packers didn't sniff a sack until the last drive, and they got the 2. In the Vikings game, the Vikings didn't get a sack until overtime. In Detroit game, they didn't get a sack until the end in the fourth quarter. There, really. So I mean, they've been playing as a unit those 3 games. That 3 divisional games, they were a lot better. Last week, I think you can just say was an anomaly for the entire team. But so I would say like we've probably got 5 or 6 guys we should keep on this roster in the O line, and then we need 3 or 4 more because of like you said, like if Jenkins can stay healthy, so we need like a guy who can play left guard / left tackle to rotate in with Jones and Jenkins to make so they don't get more so for Tevin is injury, and we need a right guard. I mean we
need 2 blue chip offensive linemen. That's what we need.
Like Pryor's a good band-aid. Obviously, he scores well when he plays, but I don't know if he's a guy I want for all 17 games. Does that make sense?
That's when you said I like the if. I mean, that's every player in the league. If they stay healthy, it seems like the Bears' offensive line is the unhealthiest in the league.
It is. So Jones missed 1 or 2 games this year. Wright has missed 1 or 2 games this year. Pryor hasn't missed, but he's been super sub. Shelton, he's played the entire season. He's played 14 games.
I want to comment with this fucker here, John Dorn. John,
thank you.
I know you're delusional. You smoke pot. You don't work. But hey, listen, you would want the Bears to fucking win tomorrow to help your assholes out. So I don't know why that you're doing this 140-3. I mean, are you smoking Mike shit? I mean,
Well,
seriously.
You know why he said that, Woody?
Why?
The reason right here. Only team in the NFL that has not got a road win.
Right,
And
right,
how many
right.
losses in a row since a 4-2 start?
Yeah.
Yep. But the Packers fans should be rooting for the Bears to win.
They're not that
if you
smart.
think about it.
They're not
Right.
that smart.
I mean, I just wanted to give my opinion since I don't have any.
None. No. You never have an opinion.
And when you guys are ready, surprising news. You let me know when you're ready for it.
I'm ready. I've been waiting over
before we hit
24
the
hours.
surprising news thing real quick, looking at the PFF for the entire offensive line, okay? Coleman Shelton, we went through. Doug Kramer needs to be gone at the end of the season. His PFF score, well, I won't even say it's so low, so it's red. Jake Curhan, he probably needs to go at guard. Bill Murray, he's got a high PFF grade, but only 42 snaps, and now he's on the IR, so probably needs to go. Matt Pryor, 492 snaps, a 70 PFF. That's pretty good. Ryan Bates, who was supposed to be our right guard, only 105 snaps. And Woody, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he out again today? So Ryan Bates, he probably needs to go. He's been good when he's in, but he's only played 105 snaps this season. That's it. Tevin Jenkins actually has played 658 snaps this season, which is only 40 snaps less than Braxton Jones. He needs to stay. Darnell Wright needs to stay.
The thing with Tevin, though, he's going down twice a game.
Well, Tevin, like I said, Tevin Jenkins is hurt half of his career. He's probably been more healthy this year than he has his entire career, but that's not saying much when you're hurt half your career.
So the guy on the offensive line, believe it or not, with the most snaps this year is our center, Coleman Shelton, whose overall rating is a 69.3. He obviously he's been doing good at center. He's been an every down guy. The next highest snap total is Darnell Wright at 7.7.
One thing we can agree, John.
So Shelton, you keep. Kramer, we say bye-bye to. Curhan, we say bye-bye to. Bill Murray, we probably say bye to. Pryor, we probably keep. Bates, we can say bye to because he can't be healthy. Tevin, we keep. Darnell Wright, we keep. Braxton Jones, we keep. Larry Borum, I know Larry Borum's interesting because we love him and we hate him, so I don't know where you want to go with him. But I think if they let Larry Borum go, they're fine. So we've got like 5 or 6 guys we can probably keep on this roster that are going to be solid.
Ken, is this guys you want to keep, or are you deciding for us?
Well, no, this is just looking at the PFF grades. If you were making determinations about how good they're playing at their position, like how good of a player are they? Because that's what the league looks at. That's what the GM looks at.
Supposed to sign a cheap deal. I've signed Jenkins.
I'm looking at playing as a fucking team, not per individual. But I know what you're saying.
So I mean, Jenkins, like Mike said, when he's in, which has been better this year than last year, and he knows that his health is tied to his contract. He said at the beginning of the year, he knew it. I mean, if you can get him on a good deal, like he's not going to get $20 million, but if you get him for $3 to $6 million a year, I think that you spend that money on.
Our luck, he would decline the deal and go to another team and be a fucking Pro Bowler or something.
That's the way it works.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
Sam Mustafa.
Right.
Fucking dumbass. Charles Leno Jr.
And the old Packers that came to us, I can't remember his name.
Well,
brain fart right now. He's playing good in New Orleans.
Yeah, Ken. Since you brought up the injury report,
there too?
Minnesota Vikings they're pretty much healthy. The only ones on there is Gilmore. He's questionable. Yeah, your Bates is out, Dexter's out, and Roshan's out again.
Yeah,
and DeAndre Swift is questionable from his groin, so that's game time.
So Swift followed the same practice schedule he did last week, ended up playing. Yep. So when they asked Brown about it, he said he felt good about it. What concerns me is we got 2 guys on a concussion protocol this week, not to mention, one has been out since after week what?
Brisker. It's his third concussion. He's kind of like Tua. When he comes back, he better wear that padded helmet, that extra pad.
Well, this is the 4th game in the IR, correct, for Brisker, or is this his 3rd?
I think it's like 4 or 5. It's up there.
Well, yeah. Well, he was put on the IR for an additional 4 games.
It was weird that it making a retroactive IR. I think this might be the last one. He might be able to come back next week for.
I would let him sit.
Yeah, just let him
Well,
I
sit.
wouldn't fucking play him.
Brisker's day to day is what I've been seeing. I've been checking every day. I checked again this morning. They're literally saying they're taking it day to day.
Yeah, but has he passed the concussion protocol yet? That's the
Thanks.
thing.
It has not said. It hasn't said yes or no.
That's the important piece. You got to pass the protocol.
Sure. Just like Roshan, like you said,
Right.
you know.
You put your cream on it.
So I mean, we've had a lot of concussions this year. More than I can remember a Bears team having.
Like Brisker has been out the longest from a concussion that I've seen throughout the whole league.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even Tua.
Ever.
Even Tua, and that was the weird thing because you guys remember we were talking about that hit, and on the morning show we had Gabe Valiant on, and I asked her, said, "Hey, look, we watched the game, we saw the hit, he got up, he played, and then the Bears are going to fly to London, and oh, by the way, he's got a concussion, like, and she's like, and she explained it out, but like none of us thought he had a concussion at all, and now like he's been out since, I mean, he didn't make the trip to London."
Well,
I mean,
looking back at the hit against Tommy Tremble took most of that big hit.
Yeah,
we all thought Joquan was fine.
Tremble should have got that penalty because remember a couple years ago they said that penalty if the offensive player dips their head to imply the contact, which you go back to that play, Tremble did dip his head when Brisker was already starting low to, probably tackling around his legs and stuff like that. But Brisker got fucked up. So hopefully he's okay. But even if he's day to day and we're nowhere near, we're out, I wouldn't even play him the rest of the year to just let him. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, not to get into the draft this early, but I mean, look, obviously we're looking for someone to back Brisker up in the draft, be it in the 3rd or 4th round. Oh, geez, thanks, Mike.
Hey, all stats aren't good stats, man. I show good and bad.
Yeah, I was going. Yeah, but
we're eliminated. Why?
Yeah.
No, we can be.
We can.
We're not.
Oh, we can.
Actually, you know what? The biggest surprise on that list is Cincinnati.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah. Their defense is just horrendous. It's worse than ours.
And you got to give it to the Panthers. First time in 2 years, they're actually favored for a game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're playing Dallas.
Good ball.
What would be amazing is if Carolina finishes a better record than we do.
That's sad.
I mean, look at you know what? Going back to last week's game, like I just think that the coach and staff got shell shocked, right? I mean, they got punched in the mouth and never tried to come back in the second half a little bit, and then the fumble happened. It was like taking an uppercut, and they were out for the count. So,
but
this week we'll see how they react, right? If we come out against Minnesota, I've been on a lot of the Viking shows. A lot of the Viking fans think this is a one-score game. It's going to be a tight game. They think the Bears are going to be in it, And look, they're not being nice just because I'm coming on their show. Like they're actually saying, look, the Bears are not a bad team. You've got the players, right? So let's see what we do this week. I mean, we've been playing a lot better than our win total suggests. We're not
right. Besides take away last week, we've been playing good ball, especially against divisional games, because only 7 points divide us the entire year. 3 and 1.
7 points. Yep. So, and that's why I was talking about the old line and the guys with the PFF grades. I know you guys don't like the PFF grades as a standalone, but when you apply those PFF grades to that 3-game stretch with the North, that line held up really good. And so that tells me we've got 5 or 6 really good guys that we should keep on this roster, and we still obviously need to draft and address it. But we've got at least something to build upon is what I'm trying to get at. Like we got guys we should keep and build upon. And we definitely need a right guard, and then we need a left guard that can also swing out to play left back.
I know we're Mike is saying about the division games we played close and stuff like that. Yeah. You got to remember we were down big. We had to come back.
The first half, both all 3 of them.
I mean, Ken, me and you discussed it on Wednesday. Is that last year? It's amazing that the Bears led in touchdowns on the first drive last year. And
now
now we're
worse.
still lowest in points in the first quarter.
But
That
we're the
is
best defense in the red zone.
Yeah,
Well,
makes no
I don't
sense.
know how that changed last week. That might have changed.
Yeah. I mean, these soft zones too. And people are saying, "Oh, you got fired, Flus. There's your defense." Blah blah blah. Look at it showed last week against San Francisco. I'm like, yeah. Well, let me see the rest of the games and stuff like that. But that soft zone last week, Kittle and Jennings were ripping us apart last week, and even Debo. But we did not get in on Purdy, and Purdy had time to throw, and that's a problem.
Well, it's a huge problem when you can't stop the run on anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Our trash guys are terrible this year, offense and defense. Like playing as a unit.
Yeah, third string running back San Francisco had last week.
Yeah, and I'd like to mention nobody's really said anything this year, but what the fuck are you doing, Sweat? I know you're getting double teamed and shit, but you got Dexter leading the team in sacks.
He's hurt, Mike. Look how many games he's left the game with that ankle injury he's had. He's had it all season. Remember, week 1 he was on the injury report. I mean, he's been on the injury report almost every week. I think at this point they're just not. Oh, your ankle's tweaked. All right, we're not going to report it because you're still going to play, right? Yeah, I'm a practice full. Okay, but the dude has not been himself. I agree with you, though, Mike. He hasn't been himself though the entire season.
No, that was the whole point of us trying to get Sweat instead of Chase Young, because we had conversations like Young's good, but can he stay healthy? Young's been playing pretty good.
I mean, have they been putting Austin Booker in at all?
Booker. Let me see how many snaps Booker has. Hold on, I'll find out how many snaps he has this year. But some of that might be. Well, I'll break it down.
Well, you know, the way we're losing because we could be eliminated, you know, according to the numbers by this week.
Are.
Yeah,
we're pretty much out already.
Yeah, we're.
This is where you put in your young talent and see what you got there. Let them play. Let Booker play more. Let You know?
Well, I'm not opposed to that, even though we are losing. That's not like we got people hurt. So I mean, like we say with the Lions, next man up. Like they got to play.
When I was watching the red zone, fucking Eddie Goldman had 2 sacks last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, come on,
really?
That was the Atlanta game, right?
Austin Booker has 225 snaps on the D line this year. He's done 1 in kick coverage, 10 in kick return, 7 in punt return, and 51 on field goals and extra points. PFF grades, he grades out right now on a coverage grade of 69.6, pass rush 56.1. His overall is a 50.3, so kind of what you might expect for a rookie.
How many plays on defense, not special teams?
225.
225 snaps on defense.
Yep.
Wow, it does not fucking feel like it.
But like here's how it goes. Like if you break it down, 127 are passing snaps, 98 were rushing. So like last week he played 6 passing snaps and 8 rushing. He gets about on average, it looked like week 13, 7 and 7, week 12, 6 and 8, passing being first, okay? Week 11, he got 4 passing, 3 rushing. He got used more in weeks 5 through 10. He got at least 11, 12, 15 plays a game. So he hasn't been getting a lot of snaps consistently, but he has been getting snaps and learning. You remember, this is a guy that we drafted in the 5th round where everyone's like, this kid should have stayed in college another year. He could have been a 1st or 2nd round pick after 1 more year in college, and he didn't. He came out instead and took the risk, and the Bears snatched him up. So we knew going in that he probably wasn't going to be the answer, right? But Mike might have his stats on sacks and stuff like that. I don't have that in PFF. But I mean, we knew coming in that he wasn't going to be the answer this year. That he was a project. That he was going to be a project.
Nobody wants Bakhtiari. Nobody wants him getting injured signing his contract.
And our quarterback situation, John, isn't the worst. I think we found our guy. Like, he hasn't gave up a lot of mistakes. He hasn't had an interception in 7 games, 255 snaps, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, but Mike,
Bears record.
if there's anything you can say bad about Caleb right now, look, he's not the only quarterback to have this disease. Big Ben had it. Big Ben notoriously had it. Russell has it at times, and that's that. Sometimes he holds the ball too long and takes a sack he shouldn't take.
Yes, he's got to throw it quicker. 3 or 4 seconds, you got to get rid of the ball.
Well, on piggyback on you, Ken, is that he does do that. Like, he holds the ball too long, but he's been taking the sacks and not forcing the ball like some of our quarterbacks used to do.
Yeah.
Well, and throw that interception.
The sacks are fine, but like the sacks he did during the Minnesota game where he rolled out, kept looking.
Oh, yeah.
Like, dude, at that point, throw it away. Those are the sacks. Yeah. Those are the costly ones. It's something, it's 4 seconds, you take a sack, fine. But when you're rolling out and you know the guy's running behind you and you're slowing down because you're running out of real estate, that should say if no one's there, get rid of it. That's the one thing I think where you can clean it up. Some of the sacks early on in the season were like, here's a free pass, come get them. When Shane Waldron couldn't, call a play with proper protection to save his life. We've seen, because look, since Brown took over, the sacks minus last week 7. If you look at the 3 divisional games, what did they have? A total of 5 sacks on them? I mean, that's pretty darn good, right? So they got better because the play call. And that because the play calling switched protection packages, which fit this team better. Hey, good morning, Rob. So
what's up, Rob?
Caleb, Caleb's good. I'm not worried about Caleb. I'm worried about like the rest of us, the line and stuff. And here's some decent numbers overall.
What I like about Caleb's stats is only 5 interceptions of the year.
Yeah. He is one of 5 quarterbacks with a 3-to-1 ratio right now, believe it or not. Let me pull that up real quick.
And that's his completion.
That's it. Yeah, that's from last week. It's all the way up to this week.
So, but since Brown took over play calling, Williams has completed 82 of 140 passes for 961 yards, 7 touchdowns, and a 96.2 passer rating. That's since Brown took over. Williams' 16-to-5 touchdown to interception ratio is on pace to be the best by Bears quarterback since, get this, Josh McCown, who had a 13-to-1 ratio in 2013. Williams is one of 7 NFL quarterbacks with better than a 3-to-1 ratio, joining Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Tua, Hurts, Allen, and Justin Herbert. Pretty good place to be. He's also on track. Interesting here. He has the longest NFL rookie, longest streak by an NFL rookie since 1950, and one shy of Bears' all-time record for no interceptions in a game. That he can tie Jim McMahon today at 8 games. Jim McMahon in 1984 went 8 games without throwing an interception. So if he can go interception list on Monday night, he will tie McMahon for the team record. So I mean, he's doing well, and you can tell the difference from when Brown took over from Shane Waldron.
And I know Mike's going to do me a
watch
favor.
Some of the Bears games.
Mike's going to be going to do me a favor since I don't ask much. Give me the year on Jaden Daniels so far, please. Thank you.
You want his stats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, let's bring that back up while Mike is pulling those stats up, because there is one thing. Is this the one that Mike?
So DJ Moore is 600 some yards short from last year.
So
his record year.
Yeah, but it's spreading the ball out a little bit more than just one-dimensional player.
I know.
Komet needs to get more involved, though.
The big knock right here, though, on DeAndre Swift, like he had 3.8 yards per carry, and what's the league average? Like 3.3 or 3.5, something like that. But the last couple games, it's gone down.
Mm-hmm.
And then Roshan, I mean, only 48 carries. He's under the league average right now, but I still love the kid. We need more out of those two.
Yeah, he has 3 games under 40 yards rushing. Like, that's sad.
All right, there's the Jaden.
It's hard to see.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have to explain that one.
But I'll say it. He's got 2,800 yards, 69.6% completion rating, 15 touchdowns and 6 interceptions.
How many touchdowns?
15.
And what's his rushes?
He's probably got like 500 something yards.
Wait, how many passing yards does he have?
2,800.
Okay, check this out. Caleb Williams right now, right?
Couple hundred behind.
He's got 2,746 passing yards, 16 touchdowns. 270 completions, which is the Bears rookie record, by the way. All three of those are Bears rookie records.
Well, it's Bears rookie records. That's not saying much.
But he's at 2,700 yards.
Yeah, you're right.
He's at 2,700 yards. And what's Jaden at? 2,800?
28. Yeah.
28.
And how many touchdowns did Jaden have?
15.
And Caleb's got 16. So they're pretty darn close, man. Pretty darn
Yeah, but you go look up Bo Nix, who's tearing it up.
He's not that much higher either. The three quarterback tandem, Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams, is literally within a few hundred yards of each other.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong. I mean, the only thing that I wouldn't say blows out the water is Jaden Daniels' completion percentage, and I think Bo Nix has like more touchdowns than yards.
I understand.
Not by a lot of yards.
I am looking at the offensive personnel compared to the Bears to the Commanders. That's what I'm looking at.
Take out McLaurin and you don't have much. I get it.
Yeah, I get it. Well, they got a good tight end. He's old, but he's good.
Mr. Ertz, I like. Well,
Ertz.
when I dated his wife, she liked me before Zach. So I know what you're saying, Ken.
Yeah, Ertz.
What does that got to do with anything?
You dated Julie, huh?
I just want, hey, when you brag too, Mike, if you dated Zach Ertz's wife.
So you dated Julie Ertz?
Absolutely. I taught her how to play soccer.
I wouldn't be waiting until week 14 to say it. I'll tell you that.
I know.
Hey.
What's up with that, Woody?
I was. Hey, that was my announcement. Sorry.
Was that your announcement?
Not at all. Not at all.
We hear this announcement.
That's burying news in the fucking stadium.
Hey, talk about burying the lead there, Woody.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about the
forgot about
stadium
his,
anymore.
I totally forgot about his
I got it.
special news that I've been waiting since yesterday.
Uh-oh, what's that?
All right. So I was at the dealership yesterday, and a gentleman came in with his son. He's from Chicago. He just visited his son. They were getting a car. Wasn't working with me. He was working with another salesperson, but he saw my cup with the Bears, and he started going off. He's like, I want to ask you guys something. All he is here. You know the rumor about the stadium in Arlington Heights. You guys believe in that, right? I'm asking you.
Oh,
well, there's something there.
I hear mixed things.
Do you believe in it?
Yep.
No.
Not happening. Not happening. This guy works for Landmark Construction that's helps out Chicago and all that stuff. The Bears bought Arlington Heights property for leverage against the city of Chicago. So what they're doing with Soldier Field, because he actually showed me videos on this as well. As what they're doing with Soldier Field is knocking the old Soldier Field down,
right,
making it into a parking lot and building one right next door to the old stadium.
They released that.
Where?
So Arlington Heights that's what he said. The Bears bought Arlington Heights for leverage on the city. So they're not building a stadium there. They're building it again still in Chicago.
Okay, you said they're going to build it right next to it. Where?
Somewhere.
They released the
There's
video.
nothing there.
They released that video like I want to say a month or two ago with that. I saw that at the time.
You mean that virtual video?
Because
Yeah.
the pillars, the facade of Soldier Field's a national landmark. So they're going to leave those up, gut the rest, turn it all into an open air park, and then put the stadium where basically parking is now. Right. So everyone's saying, well, where are people going to park? There's no tailgating parking then at the new stadium. So it's still going to be in the same area. And, But they have to keep the pillars. So right now, when you go to Soldier Field, you got big parking lot, Soldier Field, and then you got the street and you got the museum. So where the big parking lot is now is where the stadium is going to go. They released that video at the beginning of the season.
Right, but that's not a big parking lot, though. Have you ever been there? Like, I've been numerous times.
I've been
Most
there
of the
many-
tailgating happens on like little corner parking lots and stuff like they rent out and stuff.
They
It's
feel they
not
have
like
enough space to build a stadium there, though. That's if you look at the video rendering, because they can't go the other way because the museum's there and a roadway's there. So they have to go.
McCormick Place.
They have to go the other way, which is where the
McCormick
parking
Place,
lots are
that lot
going
is
towards
for
the
McCormick
convention
Place.
center.
It's not for Soldiers Field.
Because think about it, between Soldier Field and Convention Center, there's nothing but parking lots and land. That's what they're
So-
going to use to build the
yeah,
stadium.
but the parking lot's for the McCormick building.
There's a
Well,
north.
that's what they're using that too.
Stadium in-
How can they take it? The McCormick building owns
Yeah.
it. That's
City.
their parking.
Yeah,
No,
Where are they gonna park?
right.
the city owns that. McCormick Place does not own that.
I don't know about that, but that's where all the big events.
Yeah,
are.
but basically you're saying I'm gonna build this stadium right here. Everybody that parks for the
Right.
McCormick, like you're pretty much screwed.
Garages and underground parking. It's going to be the same for both as it is for
The garages
stadium?
aren't that big.
Mike. Watch the video. That's where it's at.
I've seen the video and they're saying it's tight. There's not enough
Chicago
room.
don't own the
I look. I agree with you.
But
I think,
I'm with you. But my view is I think we're still gonna go to Arlington personally.
Oh.
Like they're getting closer and closer, little by little. They haven't really said much, and it was all stopped basically by politics and money for taxes. They're
And-
working that all out.
well, they
last
just
You
time.
got
did
it.
last
You got it,
week.
Mike. That was my big announcement, so you can believe it or stick it up your ass.
No, that,
That was. But
McCormick Place.
Woody and I talked about this on Wednesday night because last weekend, while I was on the cruise ship, it was released that the city of Arlington approved the tax breaks for the new stadium for the Bears. So,
Yeah, I'm reading
and
that
like
now.
the city of Chicago under Lightfoot, who was a complete idiot, so they got rid of her and brought in another idiot to be mayor.
Yeah.
But what she did
Well-
right with the whole stadium thing was they got a political action committee to go into Arlington and basically, do this thing with the voters. Oh, you don't want to give them the tax breaks and be the anti-stadium people in Arlington. And it worked, right? Well, now, because Arlington's like, well, wait a minute, we don't want to lose this possibility of being able to make basically millions and millions of dollars by having the Bears Stadium in our township and all the money it would bring with us. No, we're going to give you those tax breaks. So they're moving. I mean, so as far as like what he's saying, I totally believe that they bought it as leverage, but you don't buy leverage if you're not going to follow through and use it. And I think the city
They might use it. He was saying something.
well,
He was saying something about an apartment complex and shit like that. I have no
Yeah,
fucking
well-
clue. I was just amazed what he said about the stadium not being there.
well,
I
the
mean-
McCormick building, what I'm seeing, isn't owned by the city. It's owned by private
they'll
investors.
still take it. But Mike, Illinois is an eminent domain state. They'll take it and call it eminent domain to build the stadium.
From McCormick Place, dude. You must not know what McCormick Place is.
I know.
McCormick
I
Place.
place.
I-
Hey,
I
I'm
built
like
it.
you.
Bill,
I grew up in Chicago.
Bill, I built it. I know what it is.
Well, no, Bill
grew up-
goes to Chicago more than me actually, but
Yeah,
by
I grew
work.
up.
But I've
Yeah,
been
I
to a
grew
lot
up
of
in
games.
Twin City every day, every week. I mean, I used to go to the car show at McCormick Place all the time. I get it.
Every year.
But they have this thing called eminent domain, and the state and they can take the land for eminent domain to build the stadium. The
So I'm a
point is,
little guy. You're a big guy. Since your pockets are bigger, you can just come wipe me out, even if I
They
don't
can
want to
do
sell
it.
it.
They
Not.
can do
That's
it.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, they
Well,
can.
Hey guys,
They do it all
there's
the
an
time.
article here about them considering the on the south side the Michael Reese Hospital site.
That was
It's
a
been-
possibility at one point. I remember that
About
might being brought up
16
as
years
well.
it's been closed.
Yeah, I remember they've been bringing that up as well, but they wanted to keep it on the lake. But the whole parking lot thing with McCormick's a non-issue. Worst case scenario, the eminent domain it. But
Okay,
Yeah,
they,
Mike.
they did the
McCormick
Arlington like you said.
Yeah.
Why would they
Arlington-
spend that kind of money on Arlington and not do nothing with it?
Arlington makes the most sense. I think
That's
where
all
the
I'm
end-
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they already own the property. Fucking, they're just the
Well-
tax breaks is where they can't.
And here's the thing too. Arlington was going to be team spent to build the stadium, like all private money. For the lakefront, they want public money. Pritzker keeps coming out anytime Pritzker gets an opportunity to say no to giving the Bears money, he does. He has said several times there will be zero public funding for a Bears stadium on the lakefront.
Okay, if they do build it on the McCormick parking lot, okay, who's going to own it?
Jesus.
Well, that's just it.
The park
It-
district still?
Well, that's just it. Like Pritzker is saying, because the Bears, if they build there, because the city would own the land, right? And Pritzker is saying they won't commit not one penny of public funds to this. So the Bears aren't. Why would you build a stadium on land you don't own? That's going to be the only option to keep it downtown.
Right. Well, not just that. Like you're pretty much renting there. Like we pretty much the city gets most of the money. They get it's a percentage is divided up. The Park District gets the most. Not very many other NFL teams have that. They own their shit. They're the one that decides where my money goes. Not if I get 40%, let me figure out where this goes. Like they're getting it all. And then obviously you got middle hands, between taxes, stuff like that. But like it's better for the team to own outright than it is to keep renting off the Park District. Because if they want to do upgrades, they got to take it through the Park Districts. Right. If you own it, it's I say so.
Do it. I mean,
I have a solution.
What's that?
Jeff Bezos just needs to buy the team.
That doesn't change anything. I know. But here's the thing, and Robert's right. Like when they built Jerry's World in Dallas, they used eminent domain there to get the land. The problem you have with this keeping it in the lakefront is you first do eminent domain. They have to make an offer to McCormick Place to buy the parking. McCormick Place says, "Oh hell no, we like our parking for our people." Then the state says, okay, now we're going to do eminent domain, and we're going to give you pennies on the dollars of what we just offered, and that's a big political fight, blah, blah, blah. Then we need money to build a stadium. So come on, state of Illinois, give us our $200 million or whatever we're asking, and they're saying, no. You see all these barriers to building downtown?
Well, not just that. Do you realize how much the McCormick Place brings in compared to Soldier Field?
Oh,
McCormick comes $340 million.
Yeah.
Soldier, that's a year. Soldiers Field, 50.
Yeah. So
they're not going to take away the McCormick parking lot for pennies on the dollar of what they're making compared to them. That does not make sense.
So part of that plan, though, Mike, was that there's going to be underground parking underneath old Soldier Field, and they're going to do this like kind of what they do by the Bean. They got all that underground parking. They were going to do the same thing underneath old Soldier Field to make that a massive 4 or 5 level underground parking system for McCormick and the football stadium. But you're right, McCormick is so much more. But now remember, this stadium's a dome stadium, so now they want WrestleMania, they want concerts in the winter, they want monster truck rallies.
Right, that means it's a bigger place.
They
you
want
don't have the land to build a bigger place. Like it's tough to do that.
But I mean, the field size is going to be the field size no matter what.
Not the field, but the seating and stuff like that. They want more seating, bigger, better, not as steep. No offense, because if you go in the 400 section, dude, it's steep. Be careful. Go up there at your own risk. Last year, the beer vendors didn't even go up there. They go up there now, but they wouldn't even go up there. That's pretty bad when employees say, I'm not going to the 400 section. They can come get beer from me in the 300 section.
So I think, and this is what I said Wednesday, I just wish they would just announce their building in Arlington and break ground already.
About a block or two down the road, is it?
Not happening, sir.
I
know. Pretty strong source.
I mean, how long is this thing going on now? Almost 2 years this has been going on about where they're going to build this thing. I mean, look at the state's obviously not going to give you any money.
And they want to keep it on the lake.
And Pritzker, as long as he's governor, and didn't he just win re-election? He's not giving them a penny. The Bears are getting no public funding to build on the lake.
Brisker has a concussion, Ken. He's not in the right state of mind right now.
Right, buddy.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, don't ruin my news. I heard it from a number, like a very, very strong source. You guys have the opinions. That's fine. But
I mean, but Woody, I agree with what your source said. Like they bought the land to be as a bargaining chip with the city to, as leverage. I mean, that makes complete sense. And now it's just, can the city complete the deal?
Hey, Woody, you're right, though, because on the other side of McCormick Place is a large open field, not across the street from Soldiers Field, but about a block down the road. I drive through there daily, bro, for work. And right on the other side of McCormick, that's probably what I would imagine they're talking about.
No, the stadium is going to be right next to the old stadium if you look at the renderings, Bill. Because you're going to be able to walk through the park that is Old Soldier Field to the new stadium.
Well, to be continued next time. What's next on ours?
They released, just real quick for next time, I think they released it like right around week 1 of the season. or towards the end of camp, they released their video renderings of what they proposed it to be. It's
Their
out
vision.
there.
It's their vision, what they want it to be.
Yeah, the vision of what they want to be. Thank you, Mike. So,
No
I
problem.
mean, I agree with Mike. If Woody's source is correct, though, that makes it interesting. But this week we got a game in a newer stadium, right? In Minneapolis, in their dome. I don't know. What do you expect out of this? I mean, what do you expect out of this coaching staff? Maybe should be more the question than what do you expect out of the game.
I wish Thomas Brown would go back up to
The
back
box.
up to the box. Yeah. But
Well, you can
since
see
he's
the
acting
field a
head
lot
coach-
more from the box.
Has
Yeah.
the head coach ever coached from the box, though?
No.
No.
Not that I know of.
How many coaches has a bumping the referee guy just to make sure he don't bump the referee? Here, get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way. Like, I want that job.
Yeah, I want that job too. That's a cool gig to have. What do you got to do to make sure he doesn't bump in the rep?
Hey, $50,000 a year. I'll take it. Thank you.
No shit.
So, I mean,
Easy
we
as
got
money.
some key guys out of defense. Offensively, we got, Roshan being out is huge. But do you guys think we see more of Cole Kmet this week?
God, I hope so.
We've been saying it for a couple weeks straight. Need to, but they haven't. Like, he was our best receiver on there for drop catches. I think he was only at 1. Now he's at like 3. But he's been solid the past couple of years. You definitely got to go to him more. But with the weapons we have, it's tough because you got to just pick the open guy. You know what I mean?
Yep.
We got Moore, Rome, Allen. And I don't know if you guys seen it, but Allen pretty much said, hey, I'm either going to stay in Chicago or go back to the Chargers and finish my career.
Yeah, I saw that. That's big news, isn't it? I mean, at the end of the season,
If I'm Keenan Allen, I'm looking at the Chargers. It's like they got a hell of a better situation than these guys do.
Yeah, but the big news is he's not saying I want out of Chicago.
Yeah.
He said,
No. He said he would like to run it back.
Yeah. Well, on a cheaper
I would like to
contract,
have
in
him
my
back.
view, you can't give him 18, 20 million as DJ.
No, his
money.
market value right now, I think what did we say it was the other day? What was it, like 14 mil? Is that his market value?
I said $12 million for 2 years. 12
Well, you're not
million
gonna get him for $6 million average a year.
No,
you're
it's
not
12 million a year. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And that's not far off his
year
market value. So he might actually do that if I mean, look, you could actually give him 16, but not have it affect your cap that way.
You know what?
Is 16 million for a 600 yard receiver worth that?
I take Keenan over any.
Is that the rate that he's
million.
going? That's what he's going to have.
Not
I mean,
16
look at his
million.
yards per catch, though. Look at his production.
10 yards per
compared to
catch?
DJ.
10 yards?
Look at his production. I mean, look at all three of their production. It's all pretty similar.
Robert, he may be old, but he's still any better than any Packers receiver you got.
I would say that. I wouldn't say that, but pretty close.
I would keep Keenan.
Overall career?
Well, 4 guys that have
career,
at least 40 catches.
Well, they have young receivers. You can't declare their career yet. They have the youngest wide receiver crew in the league, probably.
I'm with Mike though. I'd keep Keenan too. I mean, you can give him 16 million annually, but not have it be 16 million against your cap. There are ways
16
around
million
it.
with incentives,
right?
If you can make it, but if not, you make it more like 12.
I think though, look at the possibility of him staying. He obviously likes what he sees in Caleb. He likes what he sees with the personnel on this roster. That's I think another reason why the coaching situation will need to be rectified sooner rather than later, before the free agency market happens, because that might affect a guy like Keenan. Like if we get the right coach in here, Keenan's like, "Oh, I'll take 12, fine." If we get the wrong coach in here, he's like, "Hey, Harbaugh, yeah, what you got some money for me?" You know what I mean? I think that's going to be an impact as well. But I mean, teammate wise, look. If he thought Caleb was garbage or thought this team was bad, he would probably want to be gone and go to a team that's got a better situation. He sees the situation in Chicago, and he's like, okay, this isn't bad. Now I think his only question is, who's the coach going to be? And that might be his finally determined about how much money he has.
Right. Well, back to the Monday night game for the Washington injury report. We know Gilmore's questionable, but what about Harrison Smith? Because he didn't participate Saturday.
All it says is he's questionable on the.
He's questionable.
Yeah. The only one questionable is Gilmore. That's the only thing I've seen.
I mean, their defense is good. They've got Van Ginkel's playing out his mind. I like Van Ginkel. Stupid hard knocks.
It's 2 pick sixes this
Yeah.
year. Defensive lineman, right?
Yeah.
2 of them.
Dude, if you watch
Yeah.
Hard Knocks in season last year with Miami, it was hard not to like Van Ginkel.
Either
he's
these quarterbacks aren't throwing over his head, or they're just lazy as fuck. I have no idea.
He's making
He's
good
just at the
plays.
right plays. He's at
Wow.
the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Because I mean, look at rewind back when B.J. Raji intercepted us for the pick six. Like that's a big man running down the damn field.
Yeah, dude.
And how in the heck is he even trying to even attempt to catch the ball? Screen pass.
I like to see this coaching staff rebound in a good game on Monday. I think it's going to go one of two ways.
Especially Eric Washington, man, Jesus Christ.
Dude, I know it's like right. You've been
So
there
bad.
the whole time. I get it, Eric Washington. You haven't called a single play really since the preseason, but dude, you've been here all season. You know this defense. What the hell were you calling? Was it just because his light was on you?
Oh, that's big
I don't
fantasy news. Fuck.
What is it,
So-
Woody?
The
What is it?
Joku's out. Cocksucker.
David Njoku for Cleveland.
Yep.
So I hope this coaching staff.
Wait, did I have him on FanDuel?
What's your prediction for this game? What are you thinking?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
if you have an opinion on such a thing.
In Minnesota, I don't. We don't have a shot, guys. I mean, it's going to be terrible. I think. I think they're going to look back at Soldier Field, saying, we were down big and we came back and lost in overtime. And I think that's going to be we're still going to be thinking about it like the Hail Mary. So we didn't recover from the Hail Mary. It seems like. I say 29-13 Minnesota.
He
Okay.
must have been talking to Darren.
I know,
Nope.
Mike. No,
I don't talk to Darren. I talk to myself, Mike.
Darren had a different take, Mike, last night. He did. Go
What,
ahead,
on
Mike.
his show? Because it was
Yeah.
a Valhalla hour.
No,
Why, he-
on both. But go ahead,
He had
Darren.
a prediction.
Go ahead,
all right.
Darren, Mike.
30-13 Minnesota.
Mike, bear down, Mike.
27-20 Vikings.
Mike, the Bear fan.
I say we're finally going to hit that curse. We're going to be not the only team in the NFL not to get a road win. We're going to break
Wow.
that streak. We're going to win by 2, Woody. 23-21.
Fucking Homer.
I
Mike,
went
your confidence
differently.
gives me hope.
Hey, I went differently. I said the Bears will win by 1 on a Cairo Santo field goal to end the game.
Oh, you just.
I will
fucking
never do that
too.
again. I will never do it
Listen.
again.
So Darren
And-
last night gave the homer take, which like 38-10. And he said, no,
Oh.
it'd probably be more like 27-24. That was Darren's.
Yeah, but
actual-
what he was saying that would
Embrace
be
the
relevant was Santos is a terrible kicker. All we were saying is he's a great kicker. He just doesn't
Right.
have the big leg. That's the problem he has. He don't have the long kick.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
look,
a
the
it's
45.
the biggest homer. Look, wait, it's the biggest homer on the podcasting network calling us homers. Oh, my
I just-
God.
Calling who a Homer?
Rob's calling probably Mike and I homers.
Oh,
and laughing
okay.
about him. He's the
Oh,
biggest
yeah,
homer on
of
the
course.
damn network.
But
My
these-
God, according to him, the Packers should be anointed champions already. 'Cause they have no shot at losing, according to him, in Seattle today. But that's another story.
Oh, I
Well,
hope
see,
they get their asses stomped.
Packers fans should be, like I said, they should be rooting
Yeah.
for us to beat Minnesota.
They're
I
not
just
that
don't.
smart, Woody. They're not that smart.
They're
hating for the
Robert.
Bears,
That's
And
why.
they're needing- and they're needing to come on Bears shows and talk trash, overweight
That's right.
the need of their
I know.
team.
I know, Ken. I know, Ken. You're in the military, retired, and stuff like that. But the other guys, they are the AARP of the morning show.
Oh, damn.
Oh, no, Ken's
Shots.
younger than us.
No, Ken's still, sawing up his tree that fell in his yard. But I told him I'd come over and help him.
No, but I mean, this game for me goes one of two ways. Look at my Bears fan predictions. We win on a Santos field goal. This game's going, I think, one of two ways. Either the coaches rebound and we get that kind of close one-score game, or they just completely fall flat on their face as the coaching staff again and just show that none of them are ready for these jobs, and then it's a blowout. Last week I put 100% on the coaching, on the play calling, on the preparation, everything down the line. If it's the same thing this week, then yeah, it's going to be ugly. But if they get it together after last week's debacle, this is going to be a good game. Yes, Rob, because no one's as delusional as you in this place. But then again, I'm not smoking 18 pounds of weed a day to be high 24/7. So I think I might be a little more level-headed there. That's just me.
Sharing, Robert.
It's not a delusional. It's facts. You need us to win tomorrow. Actually,
they do.
So that's facts. It's not Ken's delusional. I'm my own person. I don't care if everybody roots for the Bears or says the Bears are going to win tomorrow. I'm not, because I'm a realist.
For the NFL, the NFL wants the Bears to win. You know why? They want week 17 and 18 to mean something. They don't want this division, all the playoff spots to be wrapped up this weekend. They want there to be drama to draw viewers to watch games. They want a meaningful week 17 matchup, a meaningful week 18 matchup, not a week 18 where everything's decided. So, that's a good thing for the Bears. That the Bears have a good enough team. One of four things could happen. We can go 1-3, 0-4, 4-0, 3-1, maybe 2-2, 5 things. That there's the personnel on this roster are good enough to make any one of those things happen. It's the question of the coaching. That's been the question, right? It's the coaching. I mean, the Bears have good enough players on this team. They could run the table. They could also go 0-4 any given Sunday. That's not delusional, Rob. That's facts, and that's the NFL. It's just so sad that you can't see that.
I think he's just trying to push your buttons, Cam.
He is, because he's an idiot. And he knows it. Anywho,
Yeah.
Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern, ESPN Plus, Bears, Vikings. What kind of game will it be? Will it be a good one? Will it be a stinker? We don't know. Hopefully we get a good game. We're hoping it's a good game. So everyone tune in. Don't forget Monday morning, we got Ken and Ken in the morning, Monday through Friday. We're going to be back here talking about the game, Monday Night Football and Halas. I'll report at Wednesday at 7 p.m., right? Yeah, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Also,
you're getting used to that, aren't you, Ken? I'm telling you, just say 8 p.m. Eastern. That's all you do. That's all you need to say.
I need to say. Also, don't forget to catch us on Roku and Fire TV. If you don't have the app yet, go on Roku or Fire TV and search for the Huddle Sports Network on those devices. Download the app. You can catch all our shows there. Don't forget also to go to Mike the Bear Fan today and do your prediction of the sports on Monday Night Football. So you've got until the end of the first quarter Monday Night Football, I believe, right, Mike?
Oh, it's Monday, so I'll have it posted tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Oh, boy.
First come, first serve. If you get the score correctly, the cutoff time is kickoff.
There we go.
Do it in the first, but
he's doing it from the roof. Doing it from the roof.
Doing it from the roof, baby.
I'm off. I'm done by 5. I already put my request in.
Don't forget to go to Mike the Bear Fan. Do that. If you're watching us on Twitter on either Viking Rob or Ken the Bear Fan, like us, share us, retweet us. Please come into the show and make comments. We love to hear from you. Everyone, enjoy the games today, and we'll see you all here Wednesday on House Hall, Monday on Ken and Ken. Have a great one, everybody.
You too. Bear down.
Bear down.
Forgot Woody's last.
Oh, okay. We'll do Woody's thing. We'll do the video.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead, Woody. No,
listen. Aaron Jones.
Sorry, that was me. Go ahead.
We can't stop the running game. We got to get our running game back. Rush, we got to get him under 100 yards, which is not happening. I want to see more Komet. Offensive line has to protect Williams as much as possible. Minnesota's defense is pretty good. So it's in Minnesota. I gave you my prediction. So hope all is well, and bear down.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.